Hey everyone, welcome to the 30 Days to Learn Adobe After Effects course. My name is Vincent Wynn, and today in this video lesson, we're going to be discussing the workspace and project management within After Effects. So now that you're more familiar with the interface, let's go and talk about how to prepare your workspace and prepare your project so we can actually begin the project and start working on our whole animation or composite, etc. So the first thing I want to take a look at is the workspace. Now, I briefly discussed the workspace before in the previous lesson, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth this time to break it up a little bit. So we are set to the default workspace set to standard currently. And this is just the default standard workspace that comes with After Effects when you first boot it up. Now again, there are many presets available for workspaces, such as the effects. Notice how the layout changes a little bit. And this is the Optimum workspace for working with effects. Or for example, the animation workspace is really going to drastically change all these side panels right here, as you see. So these are all just pre-made presets that Adobe bundled up with Adobe After Effects. Now, if you don't like these workspaces or you want to modify one, simply just rearrange everything the way you want it to. So for an example, I can close maybe the smoother panel right here. And maybe I don't want motion sketch. And then we can just save this workspace. Or for an example, maybe you're missing a panel. Maybe you like it like this, and maybe you want to add an additional panel. We can go into the window and select whatever window we want. So for an example, maybe I want the align panel here. Now that we have the align panel, I can actually move around all these panels wherever I wish. Now to move around a panel and to adjust your workspace, simply click on the little dotted area right here next to the panel name. Just click on the tab and pretty much drag it wherever you want. And notice how After Effects gives you options to where you can put this panel. For example, if I want to put it on the right side here, you can just simply drop it onto the right side, and it's going to put the preview panel on the right side. More or less, you can drag the effects and presets and maybe put it up here. So you can essentially pretty much rearrange the layout however you want to. And then if you want to save this workspace for the next time when you open After Effects, go to Workspace and click on New Workspace. And perhaps this is your dream workspace. We'll just call this Dream Workspace. Hit OK. And every time now you open After Effects, you're going to be opening the Dream Workspace. Now to delete a workspace, you cannot delete a workspace that you're currently using. So I'm going to switch to the Animation Workspace. And then I'm going to go to the Delete Workspace. And select the Dream Workspace that I want to delete. And hit OK. And now the Dream Workspace is gone. Now maybe I want to switch to the Paint workspace for an example here, and maybe I accidentally messed something up. Maybe I accidentally deleted a panel. Now we can actually reset the workspace by going to Workspace and reset the workspace. Hit Confirm. And now our workspace is reset back to normal. And you can do this anytime you accidentally mess up your workspace. For example, maybe you're following along this lesson and maybe you accidentally close something. You can always reset it to go back to where you started from. So I'm going to go back to the workspace and select the standard workspace. And again, this is the standard workspace that I will be using for the rest of the course, just because it's default. So now that we covered workspaces, let's go ahead and talk about importing stuff within After Effects. Now in the previous lesson, we discussed that the project media panel right here is used to store all of your media assets, all your imported files, etc. Now, I haven't really showed you that yet, so I'm going to go ahead and show you right now. So this is the project media panel once again. In order to import something, you can do it the old-fashioned way by going to File and go to Import Files or Multiple Files, or maybe Import Recent Footages if you want to. But the quickest way and the way I like to do it is just double-click on the Project Media panel. So just double-click in the window here, and that's going to bring up the Finder or Explorer, and you can pretty much select whatever files that are acceptable for you to import into After Effects. Now if you're importing a 3D render or maybe a file sequence, you have the option to check the sequence right here. You can also choose to import as maybe a composition retaining layer size and project. So these are all just some additional options that you can choose, and again we'll get more into these a little bit later. But I just want to import some footages so we can see how it works in After Effects. So I'm just going to import all of these files right here and click on Open. And that's just going to import all of the video files into the Project Media panel. Notice how I can see all the information right here in the Project Media panel. So that's great. That's pretty much how you import video files, audio files, and images. Now, Before you start your project, you always want to create a nice structured workflow for your project. So organization is the key. After Effects is very complex. You're going to have a whole bunch of keyframes everywhere, a whole bunch of layers everywhere, and just things are going to be very messy. So the best way to start a project is to start off very organized. And some of the best way to organize your projects and your media assets in the project media panel is to actually create folders. Now notice here at the very bottom of this panel, you have a new folder button right here. If you click it, you're going to create a new folder. And maybe we can call this video assets. And then we can drag all of our video files into the video asset folders so they're nice and organized. And then maybe you can create another folder for audio files. And then perhaps another one for image sequences. And notice how you can put folders within a folder. So don't be afraid. You can be as organized as you wish, but the key to After Effects and a good workflow is to be very organized because, again, there are going to be tons of layers. And again, throughout the course, I will be giving you more organization tips as we go along. So this has just been a really quick overview on some workspaces and project management before you start your project in After Effects. Now in the next lesson, we're going to be talking about projects versus compositions and how they work and what they are. So stay tuned for that. If you guys have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact me via the forums or leave a post. I'll get to them as soon as I can. Once again, guys, my name is Vincent Wynn. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Bye, guys.